So, as many of you know, Hereditary is a movie that exists, and I quite like it. And this year, the director's follow-up, Midsommar, is scheduled to release. And here we've got a teaser trailer, which is kind of interesting. So, I've seen this trailer a few times. Initially, I thought it was kind of bare bones, didn't tell you a whole lot, but on my second watch, I was kind of freeze framing it a little bit, and there's actually a lot of little interesting details in the trailer, so I figured, might as well make an analysis video. So, here we go.
Christian says that you've got...
Okay, first off, we've got some backpackers hiking through the woods, is what it looks like. Which makes sense. The premise of this film is there's this ceremony that only happens once in a blue moon, and people are coming to go check it out.
Some special thing planned.
Yeah.
So here's our main lady protagonist. Don't know her name offhand, but she just mentioned Christian, who is presumably her boyfriend or partner or what have you. Now, we see this group here, and there's, multiple people in the group. We see there's a black guy in the background who shows up multiple times throughout the trailer, so I think he's a big character. We also have somebody in a white robe back there who may be one of the cult members. Let's continue.
It's like a crazy 9-day festival.
So it's kind of like this farm type deal. It looks like a farm. It's this big open like hippie commune type deal. And here we see more of the people in white robes who are members of the cult. We see somebody's kneeling on the ground back there.
It only happens every 90 years.
The A24 logo is covered in flowers. There's a lot of flower imagery in this film, which is, if I knew a little bit more about the specific kind of cult that this movie's about, I would probably understand that more, but I'm sure it'll become clear in the movie itself.
Hi.
Here we've got this lady who's kind of off-putting. Small boy ringing a bell next to a table with food on it and a vase with some flowers in it. More white clothing. This movie's got a very heavy emphasis on bright colors and white clothing. I mean, you see the borders, the aspect ratio has these white borders rather than black borders, which is strange. I'm wondering if that's going to be how the movie is in the theater. That would be kind of weird. This is a really cool shot, and it's used several times throughout the trailer. I don't know, I just love it. I love symmetrical framed shots like this. We've got this whole line of people all in white clothing, all with flower hats. And at the end of it, you can't quite see it in this shot. I think it's like a throne made of flowers. So my guess is there's some sort of ritual that they feel the main character is necessary in completing. So very Wicker Man-esque in that regard.
Hello.
Flower car. We got a car with flowers on it. More flower hats. We've got nothing to say about this shot except for flower car.
Floor.
Here's the this other character, this black guy. The reason I point him out is I believe he's he's probably going to be a fairly major character, but he's not really in the forefront throughout this trailer. He's just kind of in the background the whole time. The focus is more so on our main character here.
You can't speak?
So we get a couple of successive shots of the interior of this building, which has writing and drawing all over it. Some very cool artwork in this shot. I don't know if this is intentional. I'm going to point it out just in case it is, but the frame of the roof has crosses on it, which is, there's a lot of crosses going on in this movie, as you'll see. And the drawings, we have flowers, of course. We have what look like sideways crowns, which kind of gives me a Hereditary vibe. Anyway, moving on. Nude ladies in a lake with torches and a burning circle. My theory about this is it's going to be a scene that's going to be recreated in the movie. I don't have a whole lot to back that up on, but it's just kind of a theory. We've got a ritual of children dancing around a big cross with flowers on it. Cross, check. Flowers, check. What this ritual is kind of unclear to me. I'd like to know if there's an actual cult that this is based on, or if it's just general cultishness going on.
Move.
Here we have a shot of another recurring character. She shows up a couple times, likely an evil character. And that's not me being hair racist. I know some perfectly lovely gingers. So I'm not saying that all gingers are inherently evil, but I am saying this ginger is evil. And ginger. Here's a drawing of the kids circling around the flowery cross, which further cements my idea that we're going to see a recreation of that creepy water scene from before. This feels like the kind of movie that's going to have parallels between painted images and real events. I just feel like that's the kind of thing that's going to happen.
But this opens you up?
Drugs. This man's inhaling drugs. This opens you up. It's drugs. This is a cult which takes drugs and finds some sort of religious presence on the influence.
To the influence?
Will Poulter.
Like, quite enough of you.
Big triangle. The triangle is kind of simulating the shape of his eyebrows. So some very heavy-handed symbolism going on here. Here's our side character more in the forefront here, being read some religious passages by Cameron Mitchell. So he's going to be involved in some sort of religious rite, I'm sure.
Breaks down your defenses.
Here's an interesting one. We got a man cutting his own wrist open with a knife. So perhaps one of the rituals going on is going to be some sort of self-sacrifice.
Trust me.
This woman's wearing a beer cozy on her head. I assume that means she's the leader of the bunch. Ooh, smearing blood on an ancient runic symbol. Again, a lot of the imagery in this trailer is just vague ritualistic stuff. Ari Aster really has this thing with cults. Between this and Hereditary, he likes making movies about crazy cults. And I'm kind of into it because that's a horror genre that's died down in recent years. This shot makes the person look headless, but I'm sure they're just bowing their head down. If it is a headless corpse worshipping some sort of cult god, then this could very well be part of the Hereditary universe. Cannot wait for the Hereditary cinematic universe. It's gonna blow the dooku out of the water.
All right.
This girl. I believe we may have seen her once or twice in the background so far, but I'm not certain of that. Maybe another major character. Who knows? This is interesting because we got a man or woman with a red mask entering a doorway. What that mask is, I'm unsure of. More cult stuff, I'm sure. Ah! What is that? So we've got a heavily deformed person here. I have no clue what that's all about. Is it a result of one of the rituals? Is that what you look like after you take part in the ritual? He or she is wearing the white garb of the cult. I'm assuming this is a current or former cult member. Either they just look like that or that's the result of something having to do with the cult. This shot's really interesting. A lot to take in here. I think this is that person with the red mask from earlier, but now we can see it's like a red hat and not a red mask, and they've got long hair covering their face. They're inside what looks like a barn with hay bales. We've got two guys in the background in the exact same pose, just facing walls with torches. We can see on the left side of the screen there's a person behind this bag just sitting there. Looks potentially not alive, so there's that. And then there's the bags themselves, which I think they have people in them. Whether they're people dressed up in cult garb or just dead bodies, I don't know. But this image is all sorts of creepy, and I can't wait for this movie to give me nightmares. Here we have black side character just getting thrown to the ground. I'm assuming he's going to die at some point, as are a lot of the characters probably. Hereditary had a very high mortality rate, and I'm assuming this will as well. We got a hammer bro. Everybody's looking up at something. Could it be like a person hanging on the cross? Perhaps. That's my guess. Or they're just looking at something. I don't know. I'm guessing they're gathered around a sacrifice or something. Just throwing that out there. I just get that feeling. Maybe the hammer's got something to do with that. Maybe bash the nails in with the hammer or something that crucified somebody. I don't know. That's just wild speculation there. I have no real reason to believe that, but I feel like that might be the case. Now, this is a cult ritual in which people, like, release their energy and whatnot through just screaming. What's interesting about this shot is like everybody's in cult garb except for these two people on the right who are just dressed normally. So I don't know what's going on with that. Are they joining the cult? Are they just there? Are they out of place? Open bear surgery. They're taking the guts out of a bear, presumably for a ritual or something, or maybe they just need food. I don't know. They've got a whole like surgery table with implements over there. The purpose of this, I don't know. The suspense is unbearable. Somebody's throwing themselves off a cliff fatally or onto a large trampoline. I don't know. I'm assuming fatally. Is this the woman from before, the one that was talking right into the camera? I'll have to like zoom in editing and like have a comparison, but maybe it is. I don't know. Ginger lady, but nude. So is she a participant in the ritual as well? I suppose. Flowers in the background. Flowers everywhere. Lots of flowers. Flowers are a sign of prosperity, I suppose. I don't know cults.
You're gonna love it.
You're gonna love it. This is Ari Aster talking directly to the audience here, and he's right. Stranger danger. Don't let a man blow some sort of dust in your face. Especially after telling you you're gonna love it. Okay, that last shot there genuinely freaks me out. Something about a group of people just wailing is just sort of unnerving to me. And I'm certain the context of that last shot's going to be pretty horrifying. Because we've seen what Ari Aster is capable of, and he will not back down. Summer 2019. I can't wait. Honestly, I'm very excited. I'm also very terrified because, if you don't know, Hereditary scared me senseless. And that's it. I'm very much looking forward to Midsommar. A24 needs to keep putting out movies like this because I'll go see them. And I hope you enjoyed watching. Not a very deep analysis. I just wanted to point out some little details I noticed and make some predictions about the movie proper, which I'm sure in time will prove to be all completely false. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for sticking with me as I do this little analysis thing. I've never done something like this before, but you know, I kind of felt obligated to, because this is a very interesting trailer and I wanted to give my 2 cents on it. So yeah, this has been a video. See you next time.